What's going on? You're in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. Let's talk about the coolest granddad on the planet. Billy Idol is back with a new EP entitled The Cage. He released that on September 23rd. This is his fourth extended play and his follow-up to The Roadside, which he released on September 17th of 2021. So it's been just a little over a year since we've received that last project, and I love both of them. This revival of Billy Idol that we are witnessing at age 66 is absolutely incredible, bringing more energy to the table than he has in decades. These two EPs capture the spirit of his early albums, and I just dig it. I dig that he's found himself in a groove, in a spot where he's just writing good music, and especially since he's still touring, it's going to add so much to the energy of the live show. And there's a lot of cool talking points associated with both of these EPs. Both of them released on Dark Horse Records. It's really cool to see Danny Harrison revive that label that his father George started. He's accomplished quite a bit in the last few years since doing so as well. He's got these projects. I failed to mention it when I was talking about Joe Strummer earlier last week. But, Dark Horse putting out Joe Strummer 002. Danny was actually able to purchase the rights to Joe Strummer's catalog. So I'm really excited to see what future box sets look like from Joe. I know that there's probably going to be at least one more. His wife Lucinda alluded to that, possibly focusing more on live performances. So props to Danny for just making all the moves that he has and really putting out some cool projects. I love Steve Stevens, longtime collaborator, aboard on this EP. Just great riff work. I mean, just some of the signature sounds that he's still able to capture from Billy Idol's early days. The post-punk, the punk, the glam rock, just the straight up rock and roll sometimes. Billy Idol, pretty eclectic as far as the influences that are driving his rock and roll sound. So I love that in a quick 14 minutes with 4 songs, all of these tracks really, really highlight and capture what Billy always did and still does best. And what I'm loving about the EPs too is that I think it's the perfect format for him to move forward in. You get that inspiration, you're able to throw down a few songs, adding to the live performances once again. I think that's great that he's in that space. But putting together a full album is a ton of work, and it can be more stress than I think he probably cares to handle at this point. So the extended play, a great format to put out that new music that just keeps coming along, and without the obligation necessarily there. Because let's be real, it's been 3 decades since Billy Idol put out a really good record. Cyberpunk, as we all know, was kind of a disaster in '93, and then you had Devil's Playground in '05, which was all right, and the same thing with Kings and Queens of the Underground, but nothing that really captivated you the way that Rebel Yell or his self-titled debut did. So it's just a lot of fun. It feels like a big circle moment where Billy Idol he's found that place again. He's found that creative space, and I'm really looking forward to him just putting out more music like this. I think it's it's a great way for him to move forward and to continue to release new tracks. This thing kicks off with Cage, great punk-driven riff to open up with. I like the bit of pop flair that's on this song to open that up. Driving bass drum to kick this thing off in the verse. And then the chorus just rocks. I love how heavy it gets. You're going to get that pullback in the second verse, going back to some of that more mellow kind of pop-oriented instrumentation, but just a good heavy hook and feel in the chorus. This song, great way to kick things off. It's rocking. And you can tell from the titles too, this thing written during lockdown. And so certainly you focusing on the frustration that all of us felt, but making an album that will resonate and will grow very well, in my opinion, I think. Running from the Ghost. This is a great tune. Love the pretty piano in this song and the vocal that opens up. It's about 45 seconds, and it's almost kind of like thinking you're maybe getting a ballad style song. But then the music kicks in, and you're getting some metal style riffage from Steve on this thing. I love the guitar work on the song. Good galloping percussion. Vocal is really cool. There's a kind of a gospel feel that Billy's voice is going to take on in the coda as well, and just the music also very complimentary there. But a great song, doing probably I'd say maybe the most experimental track on this extended play. But it leads into your third song, Rebel Like You, which if you get into iTunes, this song is about his granddaughter. It's pretty cool the way that all kind of came around. But it opens up with a motorcycle sample, the drums hit, and the riff drops, and it's got a bit of a Heartland feel with just kind of that 80s vintage Billy Idol sound. That you talk about all the different influences that are there. It just feels like there's a little bit of something here, a little bit of that punk, a little bit of that alternative rock, the heartland rock, even post punk. I love the eclectic nature of his rock and roll. Ms. Nobody, your final track, big, think, funky bass. I love how funky this song is. Got a recitative vocal, bit of a Talking Heads feel as well. The chorus kicks in. If anybody has information on who was doing the backing vocals on this track, I couldn't find it. Not a whole lot of info yet on the release of this thing, but please leave that info in the comments, because whoever he's harmonizing with in the chorus, it sounds fantastic. I think it's just a really, probably maybe the highlight of the EP. I just think that harmony there really makes this song very special, and it's a great way to close this project out. I hope you all enjoy this extended play. This is definitely a vinyl please. It's great to see Billy back in just that great creative space, making some music that's taken us all back. So I hope you enjoy this extended play. Hope you find this review helpful. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, do all the things to help us blow this project up in 2022, and stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews. We'll see you next time on the Beat Sessions.